Well, hello. How's it going, guys? I want to go ahead and make sure the mic volume is decent. I'm glad to see a lot of discussion going on here. And today we are going to be playing Legion's Triumphant. So this should be pretty fun. Of course, we're just doing a preview today, so you guys will get to see the historical battle side.
How's it going, guys?
You'll also get to see some of the well, I guess the different options you get in historical battles, but we're not going to show you guys the campaigns. We're not going to jump into any of that. We're really just touching upon one specific battle, and we'll move on from there. It's funny that we were talking here about Julius Caesar, and the reason that I brought it up is because Legion's Triumphant is set post Julius Caesar. Hi, Van, and hi, Redster. How you doing, guys? So I set up an interesting little poll here if you guys want to check it out, and that is, was the murder of Julius Caesar justified? I was just talking here with Zach Blood about it, pretty interesting back and forth. And interestingly enough, people have pretty differing opinions. Right here we have 50-50, yes and no. I know that, for instance, during the American Civil War, yeah, we're jumping way forward in history, the South, the Confederacy, actually saw Brutus as a sort of hero. That he killed a tyrant. In this case, they likened Caesar to Abraham Lincoln. So I do know that there are definitely people that consider Caesar a tyrant, and maybe like me and Zach were saying here, yeah, he was probably a tyrant to a degree, but I think back in that time, he kind of had to be. That being said, guys, we are now jumping in to Legion's Triumphant. Now, there's a bunch of different battles here. I'm not going to run through all of them because I want you guys to discover them on your own. But the one we're going to focus on is actually during the reign of the Emperor Claudius. Claudius, the emperor with a stammer, very, very brilliant guy, although people thought he was a fool. And the way that Claudius actually came to power was quite, well, funny, but also quite brutal. After Caligula was killed, Caligula, the awful, awful tyrant, I think we can all agree, pretty nasty guy, at least history suggests so. He was murdered by his guards, and after that, the goal of the conspirators was to kill the entire family, the entire imperial family, which means that anybody with any sort of connection to Tiberius, Caesar, Caligula, etc., were to be killed. And for the most part, they accomplished that task. They went out and murdered them. But little did they know, or they discovered soon, that Claudius, his uncle, who was considered by most in Rome to be a sort of idiot. Really, he was considered to be almost, I guess, the modern-day equivalent of mental retardation. But in reality, he just had a stammer and probably a lot of social anxiety, that sort of thing. They found him hiding behind a curtain, and they decided, well, look, if we crown a new emperor, the Senate can't call us traitors to the people, can't really call us traitors to Rome. So we're going to elect Claudius, and they did. And Claudius served as emperor for some time before he too was poisoned by his wife. But in this case, we are playing as the forces of Emperor Claudius, and we are heading to Britain. The historical victor in this battle is Rome. Of course, you can play as the ancient British. Today, we're going to be playing as the Roman legions under Claudius. And interestingly enough, there was also a temple built to Claudius in Britain. So he was sort of seen as the demigod of sorts of the English people for some time. One thing I love about Legion's Triumphant, it really jumps into this post-Caesar time period. And we're doing the Battle of Watling Street. I want to take a quick look here. The improvements are pretty dramatic, guys. I mean, just take a look at these units. Look at that. That is awesome. It's looking so cool here. I'm loving it. We've also got some Roman auxilia with us, and the Roman auxilia are in that green color that they should be. I really like that, whereas the regular Roman legionaries just have their standard colors. Now, if we take a look at the Britons, they've got a lot of slingers and a lot of missile troops here, as well as a bevy of war bands behind them, and some Celtic chariots. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if the Celtic chariots don't break us right away, then they automatically get destroyed. Although I think that might not be the case. I think the way it works is actually if they're scythed chariots. We also have some ballistas back here, some light artillery, and we're going to be using them too. But right now I'm just moving forward in a very standard formation. I want to go ahead and overtake the enemy here. Hello, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining. And now we're going to go ahead and end the turn, see what the Britons do. I don't expect much. I expect them to get close and try to use their slings, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. So having to deal with these slingers is going to be interesting because I'm not sure we can catch them. But then again, maybe we can hit them with some of our ballistas. Maybe we can bring in the cavalry. There's a lot of different options here. As you can imagine, the British people, or specifically the British tribes at the time, were opposed to Roman rule. Although not always. In many cases, the British tribes worked with the Romans. And I'm actually surprised not to see a few Britons on our side. We should have at least a group or two of Britons fighting for us. There were, of course, Britons that were pro-Roman. So what I could try now is I could try a charge, although I'm almost certain that they're going to retreat. So let's try to hit them with a ballista here. 8, not bad, not bad. 4. I'll fire this one right here. And 11. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move my forces forward. I'm not necessarily going to attack. I'm just going to move forward. That simple. We don't want to, get pushed into a battle. That would be a problem. This is Quintilianus. He's one of our generals, and putting him in the front line is pretty risky, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm even tempted to go ahead and charge here just to see what happens. They're going to evade, of course. We're going to throw our pila, but they didn't go very far, understandably. Now I'm going to try to get this cavalry out. But this might be easier said than done, because I think the cavalry can actually take on the enemy. Now, we've got Suetonius Paulinus here fighting for the Romans. He's a well-known general, but of course he's been sent to Britain, which, of course, in the time period was sort of the end of the world, as it were. Not exactly the greatest posting, but you know what? You take what you can get. Am I right, guys? One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately move these archers through. Fire at those slingers. Pretty good shot. They're at 19. Might move these guys through as well. And just show the enemy that we also have our own version of slingers. And we are not going to just fall prey to their rocks left and right. Boom. Move these guys forward as well. We're going to hit this guy. We've hit this unit quite a few times already. 18. Not bad. And as for our artillery, I'm going to leave that right where it is. And I will end the turn. Ooh, they're getting close. Now here I might chase them. Those warbands are also getting closer. And that terrain in the center, I think you guys can see that rocky terrain is not good for any sort of fight. Now these guys are trapped. I think we can get them. I'm probably going to go after them with my cavalry units and see if we can run them down. And I know that warband is going to move forward. Yep, sure enough. Look at that. It's a lot of Britons. Are they going to move those chariots? No, I guess not. Okay. So first things first, I'm immediately going to rock out here with a charge. Boom. Impact. It looks like we got him. That means I can follow up here with a charge from my Roman legionaries. Beautiful. They held firm. We're just going to get a top-down view of the battle here so you guys can see the setup. Pretty nice looking, man. I really enjoy it. I think what I'm going to do here is target continually one unit if I can. Disrupted. That's a start. And we're going to charge right through. Even if we end up hitting the warband here, at least we have a nice start. I'm going to do the same here. So we're hitting their right flank, but they managed to pull back pretty well. And I'm going to send my cavalry over here on their left flank, actually. It's more our right flank. Move these guys forward. Again, I want them to run. I'm just moving into position to receive the charge from the enemy at this point. And I'm going to fire at Adignorix. Adignorix, I think, is the defending general here. Actually, the attacking general. We're really the ones defending here, trying to protect Londinium. It's going to be tough, though. It's not going to be easy, because the enemy absolutely hates us. So we're going to keep on moving forward here. Come on, boys. Take your positions. This is pretty risky, because we are setting up to face the enemy charge. And I'm not sure whether or not we can repel it. I'm not sure how good we are defensively. I know offensively we're really good. Defensively, maybe not so much. We're going to have to wait and see. This guy fire, he did. Okay. I'm amazed that that unit did not break yet. That's a little surprising. And let's fire again at this commander-in-chief. Again, killing an enemy's commander-in-chief before the start of the battle, it's probably one of the best ways to get an advantage. I'm going to send this cavalry over here to our left flank. I'm going to send this guy around here, Paulinus, so that he can get a flanking charge on the enemy there. But yeah, it's looking pretty rough. And guys, by the way, I'm sorry I'm not jumping out to look at the chat. I will do it in a second here. But I'm so enwrapped in the game. Is that a word, enwrapped? I don't think it is. I'm so obsessed with the game that right now I want to focus here and see what happens. I'm sure the enemy's going to start attacking soon. Now, those retreats are not breaks. So keep that in mind. They're just pulling back so that they don't get basically trampled by our legions. They're not retreating for real. They're just basically pulling back temporarily. It would be great, though, if they all fell back immediately. We could potentially get a victory. So there we go. They already disrupted some of our units. This is going to get nasty, guys. They're attacking one of our generals here. We managed to fragment their troop. You actually see a dead Gaul right there. Or excuse me, a dead Briton right there on the field already. And we managed to fragment another one of their groups here, guys. Pretty awesome. So we're doing pretty well, and if we can shatter their barbarian charge here and basically weaken it, then we are on the road to victory. It's really that simple here at the Battle of Watling Street. All right, 20, disrupted. We should break him with this next attack. Held firm. Wow, okay, well, you know what? Well done. Let's go ahead and charge again. Auto brakes. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Now, it looks like the cavalry is going to chase. Don't necessarily want that, but one thing I do want is I want to attack this unit. Unfortunately, we're not close enough, and enragingly, this enemy unit is actually in the way of our attack. So I'm going to attack the fleeing unit just to get into position. Looks like our cavalry decided to go ahead and do a flank attack on their own. Not a good idea. What I am going to do is I'm going to charge the warband here. Pilum. All right, they did hold. Disrupted, man. This is not going to be an easy fight. I'm going to turn our cavalry this way so they can flank next turn while we get these guys into position. Grab these guys right here. Ooh, no, the charge there would not be good. Hold on a second. See, so if we charge here, 5% chance of a win, 19% chance of a loss. That's really not very good. Over here, though, we're doing a lot better, and our enemy is already in combat. So this is a good chance to basically break them up little by little. First thing I'm going to do, get over here, and I am going to turn. I thought I'd be able to turn already. Maybe not. Maybe we need to make it down this hill. Maybe we have to wait till next turn to turn, which is unfortunate. Because that could be a really great attack. Okay, now we can charge, but once again, luck is not really on our side. No, I'm not going to do that. Move Paulinus into formation. And again, we're pretty much, I wouldn't say we're stuck, but we're in a position where we have to make some really tough choices. 56, disrupted. See, if we could just get an attack on that unit, they'd be completely finished. But we can't, unfortunately. One thing I will do, I'll go ahead and fire here, try to get this guy out of the way. These are the retreating units, and maybe we could just completely destroy them. We're going to charge, they're going to rout, and hopefully our guys will take that position. It looks like, nope, they're not going to do that. Very helpful, boys. Very helpful indeed. As for the ballistas, I think we should be able to still fire, but maybe we fired this turn already. We fired these ballistas so many times, I can't keep track. I think I'll go ahead and end the turn and hope for the best. Comes down to who's going to fight better now. Did manage to disperse one of the enemy units, but it's only 1% of their force. 10, come on, boys. And this is our general actually fighting it out here. 19. 39. They held firm, though. They did fall back. And another charge there by the enemy. Our men are holding, though. Just barely. But we are getting some of the enemy units here very close to breaking. And in such a tightly packed formation as the enemy has here, if we manage to get one of these units to break, I think we could cause a massive disruption in the entire group. So we have to wait and see. Fortunately, they could do the same to us. Come on, boys. Held firm. Oh, come on. 28. Uh-oh. Our general's in trouble, but he did hold firm. And overall, just on both sides, the amount of units that are actually holding their positions is astonishing. They are really holding onto their positions with everything they've got. Now, I want to break that unit right there. So I'm going to see if I can get a charge, and it looks like I can't. Not close enough. Interesting. Now, I can charge this guy, and I'm going straight for that. 42. Breaks. There we go. They're going to have to do a check. Sure enough, one of them is disrupted. Let's go ahead and continue the slaughter. Come on, boys. 38. Fragmented. Oh, we're so close. So close, guys. If we could just send this guy through. We can't, though. But we can definitely send in the cavalry. So I'm going to send in Opilio. He's one of our secondary generals to charge here on the enemy flank. We broke the enemy again. They're going to have to do another morale check. We've already disrupted some of them. This one right here in the center, though, is stubborn and refuses to run away like he should. Even the cavalry charge here would not work out very well. What about an infantry charge? Now that looks pretty good. So we're flank attacking Adigoronix, which is the enemy commander-in-chief. And like I said, breaking him would be huge. So even though the charge here wouldn't work in our favor, the actual post-charge combat, the melee, would work pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and charge in here, take the risk. And I wonder if I can fight back. I can. Here we go. General on general action here. Quintilianus, of course, attacking. And this guy is definitely a cause for concern, but I think the best thing to do is do a flank charge with our cavalry. We've already disrupted him. 43, we fragmented him. That's just with one cavalry charge, guys. Just imagine how much damage we could do if we keep that up. I'm going to go ahead and use our Auxilia to fight back. Now, the Auxilia are not necessarily made for close combat, but they can get the job done. You know, they're not totally unwilling to get into a fight. They have a Gladius for a reason. Now, the enemy did hold firm there. I was really hoping for a break, but I think we're off to a decent start. With the archers we do have, I'll go ahead and hit the units that seem to be doing all right. In fact, we should be moving forward more with our archers to target the enemy. So let's keep on firing at those units that are doing just fine numbers-wise and see if we can't break them down a bit. And yeah, it looks like we did fire our ballistas last turn, but I think the issue here is the range. I'm actually going to pull back. I'm going to fall back with the ballistas, try to get back on top of this hill. If you could see, there's a hill over here. I think that would be pretty useful to us. So let's move those back. We could charge here. It actually would be a pretty good charge, so I'm going for it. 13. Let's follow up. And once again, the initial impact is not going to be a lot, but overall we should be able to come out on top. So let me... Actually, I'm going to charge these guys since they're on our flank. Let's fight with the Auxilia as well. 15-19. I don't like that. Now, what I really don't like is over here. I think you guys can see this. We're being surrounded by enemy chariots. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to fall back even at the potential of being disrupted. And that's exactly what happened. We just can't be surrounded by cavalry like that. It's not going to get us anywhere. I will move forward with this unit. And I think we're actually doing okay, all things considered. Now, this was a Roman victory. So I'm not exactly patting myself on the back if we do get a victory. We should. But nonetheless, it's always good to take a look at the battle and see how things are going. Let's take a look, move forward here with our archers. And we can hit these guys back here. The loose order warband. I like the close order warband more if you're playing with archers for obvious reasons. But unfortunately, we've got to deal with the loose order. We're still going to hit a few of them. And I'll take a look at the chat here. Sorry about that, guys. Taking a look at the chat now. 71 viewers. Welcome, my friends. Good to see you guys. Agrippa Maxentius here, of course. You cannot conquer the known world by 150 AC Rome Total War II style. Can I show the campaign? Siri's asking. So the thing about this is just a preview stream. And what me and Musto agreed on is we're going to show you guys the historical battles, but we're going to let you guys, you know, sort of quake in your boots a bit waiting for the campaigns. We want you guys to be a little bit like desperate to see the campaigns. I think that's going to be the goal. So today we're just showing off some of the historical battles. In fact, I think we'll just show one. And then maybe next time we do a Legion's Triumphant upload, we will show the campaigns for sure. Okay. Jump back in, boys. And girls, of course. So now I think we end the turn. There's not really much else for us to do. I want to make sure that our cavalry here on the right is all right. No pun intended. And it looks just fine, yeah. So I'll end the turn, and let's just hope that our men fight it out here really well. Like I said, the enemy are so like clustered together that if we can break a few of them, we might be able to just destroy the whole army here in one go. As you can see, our men are putting up a really good fight, despite being attacked by 3 different groups of enemies here. We're actually managing to hold strong, hold fast. And that, of course, is the power of the Roman legions. You know, having an organized, trained, armored force against, well, basically barbarians, let's be honest, you're going to do pretty well most of the time. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule, but in general, we should be able to come out on this on top. I think the only exception would be if they manage to break through here, for instance. This could be a problem. If they can basically surround us with their host, when I say their host, I'm talking about this huge war band they have, then they could beat us. But if we can break them first and get them to start running, then they sort of have a sort of hive mind. I hate to use that term, but they do have a sort of hive mind where once they see their friends running, they're going to do a morale check, and eventually everybody's going to be running. Unfortunately, the enemy also has some pretty good militia cavalry here, and overall, they do outnumber us. There's no doubt about that. Here we go, and we broke another one of them. Beautiful, and it looks like we're going to charge into another group here. Did we break another one? 14? Oh, so close. If we can break that general, that's going to look great. He's fragmented, guys. He's fragmented. Come on. Our men are holding really well, all things considered. I mean, the enemy is just attacking us so aggressively, and our guys are holding on. A lot of bravery here, and a lot of disruptions amongst the enemy lines. 36, fragmented, falling back. Oh, why do you guys have to fall back? I'm going to try to chase them immediately. Boom. Surprisingly, they didn't break there. And they've broken. That was almost an auto break there, and we can continue that. See how quickly they fragment? Go ahead and continue that and break these guys as well. So right now, we've got the Britons on the run big time. It's a nasty situation for the Britons. Let's go ahead and fire some arrows here at this group that made it through. Want to weaken them as much as I can. And I will send these fellows to face them. Now, again, the initial charge is not going to work out very well for us. But, you know, we've got to get in there somewhere. As you can see, yeah, the initial charge did not work out well. Now, my goal is to break that general unit. So I'm going to take my main general here, Suetonius Paulinus. And no doubt, Claudius, Emperor Claudius, would be very pleased if he manages to make the enemy general run here. Now, it looks like he held firm, but I don't think that's going to continue for long. Charge again. Ooh, boy. All right, we've got another general here. Let's attack. This is going to be Quintilianus, the sub-general. 16, and they've broken. The general has fallen, guys. We just killed the Britain general. Well, the British general, really. And that's huge. You can see here all the disruptions that just happened. We just killed him. He's dead on the battlefield there. No longer a threat to Rome. And I'm sure that Suetonius Paulinus and Quintilianus will be getting some very, very big applause from the emperor for that. Now, I'm going to attack the enemy here because we get a flank attack, even though the enemy over here is about to run. I'm still going to hit these guys with a flank. 37, they held firm. I don't think that's going to continue for long. And let's use the cavalry here as well. 26, they held firm. That's surprising. We'll charge in with these guys as well. Okay, now over here we should be able to break this unit. And there we go, another break, guys. And the enemy, as you can see, look at that, they broke again. Another unit breaking. I told you, once they start seeing their units falling left and right here, they have no choice but to run. They just have no choice. That's one dead barbarian we don't have to worry about anymore. Unfortunately, this guy is in some trouble. Yeah, I'm going to have to go crazy here with the cavalry because the enemy cavalry's caught up to us. So if we can get some retreats here early on, I'm going to be very happy about that. These units right here, the Roman legionaries are in trouble. You can see a bunch of them have fallen. I mean, we're still winning, don't get me wrong, but yeah, they're definitely in trouble. Now, can we fire these ballista from here? Doesn't look like we can. We might need to move back a bit because we're not on top of the hill yet, so I'm going to fall back. In this case, the issue is not the enemy's too far, the enemy is actually too close in this situation. All right, I think that's pretty much all we need to do this turn. I'm trying to think of anything else. Ah, yes, the cavalry situation. So I'm going to actually retreat. I'm going to try to get out of here with my cav and have the enemy chariots and the enemy cavalry chase me. This way they're focused on my cavalry when they should be focused elsewhere, of course. Just jumping around to all the units we haven't used. Let's move forward with the archers. Maybe we can get some shots. If not, we can always wait. All right. Let's end the turn. I think they're going to break us here. Sure enough, that's their first break. It's a unit of auxilia. And some of our units did become fragmented. Some of them are just fine. But overall, a break like that could spell disaster for legions. You know, once they break through your line, it's almost like having a phalanx. It could really cause big problems. So we want to try and defeat them and destroy them as quickly as humanly possible. They've still got those slingers too, man. They're not afraid to use them. And their general is dead, so they're not happy with us, to put it mildly. There we go. They're chasing us. Good. I want them chasing our cavalry. I don't want them charging us with their chariots. That's the last thing I need. Nice. Fragmented. Oh, maybe we could break this unit next turn. That would be a huge win for us. Okay, cool. First of all, let's try to break through here. First, let's use this unit. Not so great. I will attack this unit right here. He's already pretty badly damaged. It looks like he's going to try to hold firm, and we've broken him. That's what you get for trying to be brave. Our legions will break you. Over here, it looks like we're doing a flank attack as well, and amazing. We broke another unit. Another flank attack here, a charge. Although since they're not actually being attacked yet, I wouldn't consider it really a flank attack. They're still waiting to receive attackers. Now, what about here? That'd be good, but I think we need to catch this guy right here. Even with the not-so-good odds, these odds will improve once we get into combat. Once we start charging the enemy, etc., all that fun stuff. So as you can see, I'm trying to basically close in on the enemy here in any way I can. I'm going to send the auxilia here just to face the chariot. If we end up having to face an enemy chariot, I'm ready for it. Just going to move this guy up. I'm not going to attack. Just moving up. Don't get excited. And we'll move this guy through as well. Let's see if we could break this guy. It'd be huge. 97% chance, and he's broken. So we've got the enemy at 32%, which is really quite good. but close but no cigar type situation. Let's see how those ballista are doing up here on the hill. Nope. It's just not going to happen. All right, guys, I'll take a look at the chat now. Oh, there we go. We can get the ballista shot on these guys. Oh. So maybe it is that we're too far. Maybe we do need to get closer. We'll test things out. See how this works. Obviously, we can't move and fire in the same turn. That would be a bit OP. I'm going to move this guy this way to hopefully fire at the enemy chariots. As for our cavalry, just keep on invading. Have them chase us into the woods, if anything. And we're doing exactly what we want them to do. We're forcing this group to focus on that cavalry. That's exactly what I want. Let's take a look here at the chat. Yeah, Speedy CM is saying, I find this game is great for time, especially in PBM, as it only takes a few minutes to do a turn. I'm always logging on to get a few turns done before heading out the door for work. Yeah, that's what I love about play by email, is the ability to, you know, have a real life going on and still be able to play video games. I mean, all too often, if you get stuck into a game that you really like, you spend hours playing it, you miss work, you know, you call in sick, all that stuff. Whereas with PBM, you can really take your time, and you can even sort of reflect on your move while you're away, which I like. You know, anytime I do a PBM game, I'm always reflecting on that move afterwards. How's it going, Dogs of War? Good to see you, man. And how's it going, Tescure? Non capito, Tescure. Non parlo italiano. Okay, let's see. See if we could do anything else. I think we're good for this turn. I mean, we've already got the enemy pretty trapped, let's be honest. How'd you guys like that general kill, by the way? Pretty good, right? You guys see the screen black? Do you guys see a black screen? Yeah, so sometimes I have noticed that problem that Ian is mentioning here, that a few people have noticed that, where like all of a sudden your screen will go black. That's more a Twitch issue, so what you need to do is basically just refresh and you'll get the screen back in no time. Also, when we Alt-Tab to take a look at the chat, sometimes, you know, the screen will go black a few seconds, but generally we fix that pretty quickly. So let's take a look here. Yeah, I think we've done everything we can as far as I'm concerned. And I'm going to end the turn. I'm just looking at all the possibilities because we're so close to victory. And at the same time, we're so far from victory. So I'm kind of like trying to make sure I make the absolute best decisions here. Okay, I think this one's okay. These guys are already kind of not doing so great. Although hitting them from this distance is going to be hard. Heck, hitting them from any distance is going to be pretty hard. The Barbarian Light Javelins. Let's take a look here. And we're not charging with these guys. There's no point. All right, we're going to end the turn. Wish us luck. So hopefully here, we're getting closer and closer to ultimate victory. Wow, look at those Britons retreating. It's just a massacre. They are definitely terrified of us. They've realized the power of the legions. Although, some of them are still fighting back. Stubborn but brave. I'll give them that. Here we go. That's a rear charge from our cavalry. We've already fragmented the enemy. And I didn't even order that charge. That just happens because we were chasing a fleeing unit, and those guys happened to get in our way. I will say, though, the slingers are doing a great job here at disrupting our units. And really, I think that's almost all the enemy has left. A tremendous amount of slingers. And they can do a lot of damage. I mean, I've talked before in streams about how much a rock thrown from a sling, how much damage it can do. Quite often, for instance, warriors would get into a fight. There would be dead men on the field. They'd take off their helmet, they'd take off their armor, they'd look, they wouldn't see a single wound. That guy would be dead, and that's because maybe a rock hit his head. That's simple. The shockwave, of course, killing him instantly, and it's pretty incredible stuff. But believe me, a rock, well-placed rock, can do some serious damage. Now, right here, speaking of serious damage, the enemy just forced one of our units to auto-break. That's not good. Now, we could still fight back, and a lot of the enemy is still afraid of us, but we need to be even more aggressive. We're being as aggressive as possible, but we need to be even more aggressive. So let me see if we can attack here. Yes, we can do a flank charge with our Subgeneral Quintilianus. And we can also do a charge here with our cavalry led by Oplio. All of these guys are trying to seek fame and fortune with the current Emperor Claudius. Of course, current Emperor Claudius, I should say. Claudius, though, is a great BBC series. You should check it out. Sort of the Game of Thrones of the 80s, and a realistic Game of Thrones, too. And now let's go ahead and attack once again. Man, they're really holding firm. I don't think they're going to hold for another turn, but it is surprising to me. So once again, we want to fire right there. I'm going to turn one legion this way to face the enemy. Oh boy, we are definitely in a tough spot. I think we're about to be broken on that particular flank. So all I can do is try and do as much damage to the enemy as possible before we're overrun. And let's see what else we can do here. Try to fire at these guys. So first thing I'm going to do is actually charge here. Actually, no, I'll get the flank charge first. And now I'll get the secondary charge here, even though our charge is not going to be that effective. See, we just broke. And I took a risk there, because if we manage to hold them, then all of our other combat, close combat would essentially go very, very well against the enemy. In this case, that's just not going to happen, unfortunately. Try to attack here. Enemy's going to evade. Kind of expected that. Bring these guys in as well. And again, we're just slowly closing the gap. $38, man, so much damage that those ballistas do. Now, I'm not too familiar with how the ballista does that much damage. Of course, that's a significant amount. And at this point, yeah, we're going to have to end the turn. But I must admit, I'm getting a little scared here. We were doing really well, and now I'm not so sure. What do you guys think? Let's see in the comments down below. Fortunately, one of our cavalry units did get away. Let's end the turn here. We are still routing the enemy unit over here. Look at how many men they have in reserve back here. We finally broke that unit. That's great. That's an enemy barbarian light javelin unit. Probably my most hated units in the game are light javelin and horse archer units. I hate them. They're so annoying. They run up to you, they fire, they retreat. I mean, they're just great at that, and it can be a real pain to deal with them. Oh boy. They were at 36%, guys. Now they're at 31%. They definitely dispersed that unit. We saw that happening. But see, they're getting behind us here with the flank charge. This is where things start to get very, very dangerous. Interestingly enough, we did force the chariots back. That's a bit of a good start. Oh, they still held firm there in the center. Breaking them in the center would give us some breathing room. There we go. We got a break. Let's see the morale check here. It looks like they mostly held firm, believe it or not. There's a beautiful flank charge on the enemy. We're getting another flank charge, and I think this is going to be our breakthrough point here. Almost without a doubt. It looks like we can't initiate an attack on the enemy because these guys have already charged in this turn. Again, we're in a tough situation. There's no doubt about that. If we charge in with these guys, they're almost certainly going to lose. But at the same time, we want to keep the pressure on the enemy. So I'm going to start sort of trying to push them back a bit. Get them away from the center here. And move the rest of our forces into formation or into position. But yeah, we are going to have to get pretty aggressive. And I'm not sure what else we can really do here. He's going to run. As for this chariot, I'm going to turn, and I'm going to turn this way. So hopefully if the chariot attacks us, we'll be ready to flank attack the chariot. I've never flank attacked a chariot with a cavalry unit, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. I would only assume that it would work pretty well. So let's charge in here. Rear attack. Enemy's going to try to evade. I don't think they're going to succeed. This gives us a little bit of a chance. And actually even here, our archers could outmatch them in close combat. So we're going to go for the charge. 8 versus 8, or I should say 8 damage to each. Not bad. And we'll keep peppering this guy with ballista rounds. That poor unit. They're just getting hit with ballista left and right. Yeah, I think we pretty much done all the damage we can. Here's some arrows for you. Oh, our guys missed. That's not cool. Again, man. Come on, boys. Now, this is where I'm concerned. If they break us here, we only have this eastern portion of men to fight with, as well as these guys. Whether or not they can actually stand up and hold out, I really don't know. I know these guys cannot hold out. Whether these guys in the center can hold out, that's an entirely different question. I think I'm going to turn this unit this way just to prepare for that attack. I'm almost certain they're going to break through, and we will end the turn. Hold on. No, they broke. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. There's really not much we could do. Luckily, they didn't get a flank attack on any of our units, but we see some of their men dispersing and some of them rallying again. Over here in the center, this is the really important point. Oh, they held firm, man. If they can hold firm the entire time, they are truly heroes, heroes of Rome. Because that would mean we hold the center, we can get that flank attack going. Be great. It would be great. Yeah, it looks like they're going to respond there with a charge. Oh, this is another impact. Another impact charge, but we disrupted the enemy, and that was an attempted flank attack, and we actually managed to fight back really well. So you could see these legionaries are highly trained. Very highly trained. And even occasionally with a flank attack, they'll manage to do the right thing. Fortunately, we've got the cavalry behind us. 13, and we've broken, yes, another militia cavalry unit. Or excuse me, a javelin light horse unit, I should say. Yeah, I knew they were going to break eventually. Wow, they still held firm. That is unbelievable, guys. These guys right here, absolute heroes. I am going to try to charge in with the cavalry. I think this is the only way we can win, is breaking this central line that the enemy has. Charging with some more legionaries. We want to get even more on the flanks, so I'm going to move these guys in. Even at the risk of being somewhat exposed, yes. Oh, come on. There we go. Let him have it, boys. So right now the battle is very close, as you guys can imagine. 27, we fragmented another unit. And I'm just going to fire directly into these guys. So close yet so far away, as they say. Okay, now with these guys, we can go ahead and continue the charge. So I'm going to do a flank charge. Try and disrupt these units, throwing those pilum and getting into the attack. I'll go ahead and fight over here as well. But really, I'm hoping that we can break through these guys with our legionaries. By the way, don't the legionaries look just absolutely beautiful? I love that look. Charge. Evade, please. Thank you. Charge. That's how you use cavalry, my friends. Get them to run from one of your men and then send in your cavalry to finish them off. Now, as for the enemy chariots, I'm a little uncertain of what to do. Let's see, if we did a charge here, no, we wouldn't do very well at all. We'd get crushed. So I'm just going to stay put. Sometimes doing nothing is the best course of action. All right, wish us luck. They held firm, but they were pushed back. I can live with that. Look at all the dispersals. Right in front of their own men, they're just dropping their weapons. Like, guys, this is not worth it. Escape while you still can. More dispersals there, more dispersals. These guys will not be able to, obviously, come back to the fight under any circumstances. But the fight is still very, very close. 26 to 31%. Ooh, nice. Nice work, boys. Fragmented the enemy unit there, but they're going to move back considerably, and they might be able to escape our next attack. We'll have to wait and see. There we go. Beautiful. We broke that that cavalry unit. Very good stuff. Fortunately, I think we're about to auto-break here, sure enough. I mean, once you get to a certain point, no matter how high your guy's morale is, if they go beneath a certain number of men, they will auto-break. They're not going to keep fighting with like 3 or 4 men left. Although we managed to break the enemy unit there. That's a nice little trade-off, I think. And I'd really like to break that unit. Come on, boys. And that's a break. Let's get a morale check. Oh, they passed the morale check. And some of our men have dispersed into the woods. I don't think they're going to make it very far. We are in Britain right now, and of course, in this time, most of Britain is under control of various tribes. So I think those guys, even if they retreat, they're not going to make it too far, unfortunately for them. We do have this guy right here on our left flank. He's kind of a pain. But what I'm going to try to do is charge into this guy. We've broken him. And we've disrupted him, and we've broken him in the process with the morale check. So we actually broke because of the morale check there. He couldn't make it, and makes sense. I mean, these guys are right on the verge of completely losing their cool, and we're going to try to help that and kind of push that along if we can. Right there, we've disrupted some of them. That's great. We're going to keep on trying to fire at the chariots here as well. Disrupted. Oh, how great would it be if we could break a chariot unit with some ballista shots? 1. I don't expect it to happen, but if it does, I'll be very happy. And over here, no, our chance of winning is actually not too high. I'm going to go ahead and run over here. And it looks like the cavalry has attacked. Let's go for it. Not much we can do with these guys except attack that chariot. And that's interesting. Usually you can run right through. I guess with the chariot here, it's stopping us from moving into this tile. So there might be some defensive uses for that chariot. We're also going to go for a flank charge here with our legionaries. 30 down. They did hold firm. We probably could have gotten some shots using the bow on them, but that's all right. And we'll charge through here as well, just to get them to evade and just to keep on surrounding the enemy. That's really the goal in this particular situation. I'm not even going to pay attention to the barbarian light javelin, and I couldn't care less. As you can see now, we're looking at the battle from a different way, essentially. Basically, essentially from this perspective, this is where we started. Now my perspective is shifted over here at the Battle of Watling Street. So let's hope that it works. That's the most important thing. Ending the turn. Here we go, guys. Ooh, we've got some rallying troops. I didn't want that to happen, but some of the enemy are rallying. A lot of them moving back here, and mostly it's missile infantry. Those chariots still chasing us. I love how we've used our cavalry to bring those chariots completely away from the battle. I have no doubt that if those chariots got behind our lines, we would have already lost. So this definitely gives us a chance to win here. It's not definitive, but it's a start. Oh boy. Wow, that was actually a really good fight back by the enemy, managing to disrupt us there. 42, we've broken another group of enemies. We've fragmented another group of enemies. Hey, I like this. Let's send in Suetonius to get the kill. And he broke him. Nice, Suetonius. We'll also go for the flank attack here. Disrupted. Fragmented. Can they go in for the kill? Ooh, not quite. Not quite, but we're almost there. So now we've got the enemy at 43%. Of course, we want to continue that. We want to get them down as much as possible. But unfortunately, 43% is not enough to make them give up the fight. So they could keep this going for a while. Especially if they start taking out our ballistas, which I believe have no protection whatsoever. Send our cavalry in here. Send some of our units forward. There's no, well, I was going to say there's no point in attacking these retreating troops, but just to get through, I might go ahead and do it. Just to sort of form a path through this area. And I'm going to do the same with these guys right here. In fact, these guys haven't retreated yet, but hopefully soon they will retreat. $19-19, very even fighting on that front. And even here, the fighting is very even, but I'm not going to attack the chariots, not for a second. Just going to wait, hold back, and hope things go my way. I will, however, take this cavalry and try and flank the rest of the enemy. And with this Roman auxilia, I'll head deeper into the woods. Hopefully they'll follow me. They seem to love following units that they shouldn't. That's good for me. Here we go. Run, barbarians, while you still can. They're getting pretty desperate here. It seems that their slingers are doing all of their work for them. They don't really have anything resembling much of an army anymore. But it also makes it a little harder for us to chase them. Before it was pretty easy. Now we're actually having to go to some difficulty to chase down the enemy that remains. As you can see there, our ballista did stand firm. That's surprising to me. I thought for sure they would break on initial contact. So the ballista does have some potential to actually withstand the enemy charge. I don't think it's going to be significant, but it's a start. A lot of our boys are dispersing too, but hopefully 44, we've broken another enemy unit. Yes. Okay, we've got them at 46%. Man, I wish I could call it a victory, but it's not a victory till it's a victory, right? We're going to go ahead and charge here. He's going to run for sure. Trying to see what we can do with these guys. Charge. They're going to evade. But in evading, I was going to say, hopefully we get an opportunity to attack, but maybe not. We'll charge these guys. We'll see what happens. Go ahead and fire at these guys up here. Charge with our general, of course. They'll evade. See, that's going to be the frustrating part, is trying to catch these guys that are evading. Now, if we catch them like that, that's a great way to get them. Get them to run away until they can't run anymore, and then you send in another group of men. But for that, we need to be prepared. So I'm going to send another unit up here. And this is, of course, just to catch those guys evading. You know, we can't chase them down every time. We're not going to go to that trouble. But maybe, just maybe, we can catch them when they try to run. 19, they held firm, man. Got to give it to them. They're putting up an all right fight. Now, we can't hit the chariots because they're in combat with our light artillery right now. What we can do is try and hit their light cavalry units and just their regular units here. So I'm going to go ahead and fire. They do still have a small group of fighters here. Don't expect them to survive very long, though. And look at all the dead on the field, man. That is a battle, without a doubt. The amount of dead on both sides is going to be tremendous. That's a lot of dead guys on the field. Plenty more to come. Let's see what else we can do here. Okay, you know what? I'm going to turn around. Oh, I didn't mean to fall back. That was a mistake. Now, see, you do a morale check when you fall back. So had I lost that morale check, I don't think I would have had the opportunity to take back that move. I think that would have been just a mistake that I'd have to live with. Okay, here we go. Get off the field. Ooh, some of them are rallying. And they are fragmenting our ballista. Ouch. They actually auto-broke. Wow, they auto-broke our general. That's unbelievable. So I guess he had lost way too many men during the fight. Over here, we just broke another one of their units. But yeah, auto-breaking a general is not fun for us, man. That's bad news. It's got bad news written all over it. Let's see if we can flank. Or just charge. That works. Turn these guys this way. And these Roman legionaries should be able to break through the enemy here. Cut through, break through. Yes, they're definitely cutting through. And I'm actually going to charge with the archers, of all people. And we've broken them. See? Sometimes even the most crazy idea will work, depending on your situation. I'm going to keep on moving forward here to try and catch the enemy. I have no doubt that they're trying to flank us with their cavalry units. That's what I would do at least. And I'm going to actually charge that warband. We've had a lot of units, coming back to the fight. I want them to know that if they come back to the fight, they face certain death. It's pretty much that simple. 23, we fragmented them. They should be dead after one more attack. These guys are a little more stubborn, and for some reason we haven't managed to break through their defenses, really. — 47-37. All right. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. And of course, they're artillery units, so they will disperse. They won't even break. They'll just go ahead, drop their equipment, and run. And you could see that massive group of enemy reserves there. I think they're just waiting to use them. We can get them to 60%, though. The victory is ours. Two warbands returning to the fight. It was a nasty little attack there. And there we go. We've broken another group. Beautiful. And we're actually heading towards that part of the battle. Unfortunately, it looks like one of our units dispersed there. We're still on top, though. That's the important thing. And we finally disrupted that unit. We also had one of our units rally there. That's somewhat good news. If we get a break here, that would be even better news. 27, fragmented. Hey, we're working on it. We're definitely working on it. Turn and fire. Could have charged. And I think with this unit, we'll go ahead, we'll run and charge and break them. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Move our general forward here. Just prepare to repel borders. And of course, they are going to retreat as quickly as they can. I'll turn this Roman unit this way, just because I know we're going to have to face those guys at some point. Look at all, man. The poorly armed rabble. I'm almost thinking if we could get some units in there, we might be able to force a retreat. But I'm too scared and too cautious to try. Look at that field, man. That is intense. Okay. We're getting really close here to the end. Oh boy, enemies rallying. This is going to be a break on our end for sure. There we go. More units dispersing. Can't be good for the poorly armed rabble to see all those units giving up. More dispersal? Why not? Nice, we actually held firm against the enemy chariots. And now if we could just follow that up with another attack without them retreating, I mean, we could potentially take out an enemy chariot unit, which would be invaluable. Yeah, they're going to break the ballista here for sure. And that is going to be a dispersal. So they're getting awfully close, 43 to 49%, but I think we just broke another one of their units, getting them to 51%. Some of our guys are dispersing into the woods, though. They can't take the heat, man. Think we can catch these guys? Yep. Turn and fire at these guys here. We'll turn entirely with this unit. And I think we can commence the attack. They're back for more, so let's show them why they broke in the first place. There we go. Nice little break. I'm going to try to charge here, but they're probably going to evade. I'm still going to try. Let's keep on moving. It's tough to say kind of who's going to win this one. I mean, it's a really close fight. If you take a look at the tattered flag on top of our unit, that's essentially letting us know that it's lost a lot of men. You can also find that out by looking at the bottom where it says strength. It says right now 282 out of 489. So, you know, obviously do the math there, and you can discover how many men were lost exactly. Now, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get behind this unit and prepare to charge. These guys, I'm not even sure what to do. I think we'll turn this to the north and hope for the best. Here we go, guys. I mean, it's so close right now. If we can just get them to that 60% mark, we've got this. I like all the misses right now, but of course they are probably going to go straight for that ballista, if I had to guess. Ooh, they managed to do a lot of damage there with their chariots. There we go, 21 damage. I'm surprised we didn't do more. That's really surprising. Let's try again. Actually, let's see if we can get the Legionnaires in on the action. Why not? Throw those pilum. Only 4, come on, guys. I expected much better than that. I'm going to try to get this ballista out of the way, although they will catch it. Breaks, beautiful. There we go. That's good, very good. Enemy's definitely going to run here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to engage this enemy warband directly in front of us here. I mean, we're so close. All of these legionaries have to march forward, and the reason being, otherwise we're just going to be chasing chariots the entire game, and we're not going to win that way. Now, if we can hit that poorly armed rabble and hit them with force, we stand a chance at doing some pretty serious damage. Here we go, 10. Come on, boys. You can do better than that. Oh! Come on. All right, I'm going to get this cavalry unit over here, because maybe we can use them to flank attack the enemy. Nice shot. That was basically a blind shot. That was pretty cool. All right. Ooh, how lucky those chariots are that they get the chance to attack, test the waters, and then fall back when they realize it was a bad idea. Ooh, no. Our guys are evading the chariots. Uh-oh, one of our units is disrupted. It's not good news. Now let's see if we can break these guys immediately. I think we can. Not this turn, next turn. Boom, broken. 57%, guys. We're so close. This stream was actually meant to only be an hour-long stream, but I'm going to keep going because I want to beat the enemy here. It's pretty simple. And being this close, I have to try. I've got to try and beat them. So interestingly, we did hit the chariots, but we're downhill. They're uphill. So yeah, of course they're going to get a better shot than we are. Try to fire at the light javelin men. Heck, we could even try to fight the chariot. I'll go ahead and face him. Of course, these units will evade us. Do better than that, boys. No, that would be a total loss. The legions march on. Ooh, that's right. Oh, I didn't want to do that. And once again, I cannot undo the move. I was trying to turn around. Instead, I moved back, which means that I actually took a morale check and lost both morale checks. So if he hits me once more, that unit is definitely going to run. No doubt about that. Let's end the turn. Auto broke our cavalry there. That's not surprising. Uh-oh. Some of the enemy units are rallying. I don't like that. All right, our cavalry fell back. As long as it's the right decision, I'm fine with it. In this case, I think it was. Okay, so we're definitely going for the rabble. I think that's going to be the key to victory here, is to start engaging the rabble units. Their fighting experience is non-existent, so should be able to do some damage. Let's impact here. We're going to charge the chariot. They're going to run away. Oh, sneaky, sneaky. Now, we might be able to actually charge in with our legionaries here. You know, weird turn of events. I mean, if we manage to win by killing a chariot, that would be epic. I don't think we will, but it's definitely a start. 57%. What else can you guys do? Fire. Just going to move up. I'm not going to attack, of course. We've got some enemy rallying. That's not good. Incredibly, some of those skirmisher units, they're putting up a fight. I mean, the same way a legionary unit would. And there we go, 51 to 54%. The battle is ultra close now. Ultra, ultra close. Okay, we fragmented that chariot. Let's see if we can finish her off. And the enemy breaks on contact. We're also going to be charging their missile units here, and they've broken on contact too. We've got them back to 57%, but we got to get to that magical number. I will charge the warband here in an attempt to break them. Don't think it's going to work on the first run, but maybe on run 2. And you can see we're getting set up here to receive the poorly armed rabble. And by receive, I mean kill and enslave them all. No, that's not going to go well for us. Actually, we're going to charge. They're going to evade, but the charge would actually be successful if we caught them. So it looks like they lost one. I'm not sure if that's an evasion penalty. One of the charioteers fell off his chariot and got trampled, presumably. But we'll end the turn here and hope that we come to a victory very soon. I don't know if anybody has done a bet. I'm not sure if Muso has made you guys bet on this one, but this would definitely be one to bet on for sure, to see who comes out on top. Hold until relieved, boys. Hold until relieved. Anybody know what movie that comes from? Let's see how well you guys know your movies. So I'm going to do an impact charge here on the poorly armed rabble. I was trying to get a flank attack here on the enemy, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And look at that, 83 went down on the first attack. Breaks. Disrupted. Oh, come on, guys. You can do this. You're about to win us the battle. 13. You were so close. Charge in here, Roman legionaries. Breaks. They're at 61%, guys. I believe that's a victory for us. Could be wrong. They could rally, although it's unlikely. And if they rally, well, they could certainly come back to the fight. So let's not count our blessings yet. But we can be fairly happy. So again, I want to take a look at that battlefield. It has been a bloodbath. It really has. And a beautiful one. And Legion's Triumphant, I mean, the way that they have constructed these post-Caesarian legionaries is just great. They look great. They really feel like legionaries, too, in the way they fight. I mean, they can put up with just about anything. Let's see if we can charge those chariots. I don't think they're going to do very well in the woods. I don't think they're going to be able to evade. And sure enough, we got a rear attack on them. They fell back, but we definitely got some damage in there. So, guys, here we go. Let's hope this is the end and a victory for us. For Rome. Hold on, guys. Hold on just a little bit longer. Victoria! There we go, guys. That is a Roman victory. I want to go ahead and let the enemy withdraw. Yes, honor satisfied. We're going to let the enemy pull back. and I want to go ahead and see if we can not review the battlefield, but specifically the casualties. So as you can see, the enemy lost 1,888 infantry, about 100 cavalry. They had 2,342 wounded, and we took about 9,454 slaves back to Rome with us. We did have some pretty heavy losses, though. 878 total lost on our side, a lot of wounded, 1,487, and about 213 vanishing into the English countryside, which I can only assume one of their heads is going to become a wine cup for barbarian warlord. That's almost certain. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that particular battle. Played it to the very end. I'm going to take a look here at the chat. Let's take a look here what you guys are thinking so far. Thank you, Pixel. Appreciate it, mate. The longest day, says Audie. He got it. He got the movie reference. Man, that's awesome. Well done, Audie. Audie got the movie reference. Hold until relieved. Hold until relieved. One of the coolest lines ever in a movie. And yes, it is a lot of fun, John Kaminsky. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Van Bishop. Yeah, that was, I will say, one of my best victories. Let's go ahead and refresh this straw poll about, was the Senate justified in killing Julius Caesar? And 5-5. I'm amazed at how separate, or how, half and half. I mean, like, half support the killing of Julius Caesar, half don't. I think that's pretty amazing and really shows that there's a lot of debate. Now, as I always do at the end of my stream, guys, I will share with you guys my YouTube channel. I'd really like it if you guys stop by, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And also, if you want my YouTube channel, you simply have to go ahead and, excuse me, not my YouTube channel. If you want my Twitch channel, simply click on my name in the chat. I believe you can get it that way. Let's see if we can get this working. There we go. And thank you again for watching, guys. Wow, we got up to like 70 viewers. Now we're at 64. Really glad everybody stopped by. And once again, thank you so much for stopping by, guys. We will see you tomorrow, where I believe we'll be playing Empires Apart, if I'm not mistaken. That should be a lot of fun. Take care, mates.